On this edition of Kababayan Today, coming from Hawaii, Ben Caballo from Honolulu Ford and sportscaster Dyan Castillejo-Garcia for Mommy Mondays. That's all next on Kababayan Today. Lahat. Ako po si G. Tanji and welcome to Kababayan Today. Our guest for today is a very dear friend of mine. Dyan Castillejo is a sports icon in the Philippines. She's successful as a former athlete and sports broadcaster, covering the most prestigious sports events and sports personalities. She hangs out with Pacquiao all the time. She also has a 10-time national tennis champion of the Philippines and became the first Filipina to get a WTA or World Tennis ranking. She represented the country in numerous international tennis competitions, and even after her tennis stint, she transitioned smoothly to a career in broadcasting since 1992. She's been with ABS-CBN Broadcasting as a sports anchor, senior correspondent for all platforms of news. She's also the host of Sports Unlimited, which I've been on several times, and you gotta check out her website. She also handles Dyan Castillejo. Yep, she's a dear friend who's like a sister. She's here on Kababayan Today for Mommy Mondays. Let's welcome Dyan Castillejo-Garcia.
Hi, G! Wow, I'm so excited to be here on the set and not just through Skype.
Yes,
right?
have a seat!
First of all, congratulations for this show. I'm so proud of you. I don't know if you know, but G and I hosted the Binibining Pilipinas pageant when you were just, what, 16?
1997.
Okay, not that young.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I had the opportunity to work with a Dyan Castillejo at the very beginning of my hosting career. And I have to say, like, I was so intimidated.
What?
Yes! I mean, you're Dyan Castillejo.
Hey, I'm just me, man. Just being myself.
I've known Dyan for a very long time. Before we were both mothers, we were already friends.
Yes.
Already in the industry. So let's talk about growing up in the Philippines, Dyan. Because when someone looks at you, they're saying, is she Filipina? Kasi hindi naman mukhang Pilipina.
Yeah, well, I'm part Spanish kasi both of my parents are half Spanish, half Filipino. So I grew up in a Spanish-Filipino home, spoke Spanish at home, but then syempre I learned. But I grew up in the Philippines.
And you went schooling all throughout there except for college?
Yeah, I went to school in Florida, but other than that, my high school was San Agustin, my grade school was Poveda. So when I started my athletic career, that was mainly because of my parents. You know, my dad was an athlete. He was a track champion in LaSalle, and then he was in the national football team, soccer. And then he became a race car driver, a golfer, everything. So all of us, you know, my sisters have been here. We're 4 girls, one boy. And he wanted to have more boys to be in sports, but ang lumabas, lahat babae. So lahat kami in sports.
You've played professionally for tennis. In your career. How was the pressure like growing up, being in this environment where you could not fail?
Well, hindi naman na I couldn't fail, but parang early on, it wasn't really naman planned na I'm gonna have a tennis career. My dad just put us into sports, and it just so happened when Jackie and I joined yung first national age group tournament, we won. I won the 12 and under.
Doubles, yeah.
Well, singles first. I won the 12 and under. She won the 14 and under.
Okay.
And then after that, we just started playing international junior tournaments, and then it got more serious, and then, you know, we tried to get into the pro ranks and all that. So it wasn't naman na we had to win, but early on, my dad already instilled that work ethic of talagang striving for excellence. Hindi lang yung pwede na, yung mediocre. No, you gotta give it your 100%. And that's how I pretty much live my life. Like morning, wake up, 5:30, jogging, bago mag-school, and then school, then tennis 3-4 hours, and then homework, then tennis, gym, ganon.
The discipline it takes to be an athlete.
Yeah,
Dyan,
but
you've been able to sustain the discipline.
Yeah.
Even till today. That's hard, huh?
But you know, I really have to thank my dad and my parents for putting me into that. I love being in sports. I love the discipline. It really carries over.
In all the aspects of your life.
Yeah, kasi kung masanay ka na giving your best always and having to practice that ethic of working hard to achieve something, like parang the
character building,
yeah, of sports, the teamwork, the tenacity, fighting spirit. You know, in life, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and you know, as Filipinos, we're all about the fighting spirit.
Kailangan talaga, yeah. You need to have that staying power, never say die. So it's really taught me a lot, and I'm really so happy that I was born into a sports family and then live a sports family. Kasi hanggang ngayon, I really still love being in sports, like now with my job. And
I know. Okay, so we'll talk about your job later. Let's talk about being a mom. How has being in sports carried over with you being a mom? Because I know her son, Matthew, I've known since he was very, very small, has always been very active. I mean, who do you see, which 3-year-old do you see eats lettuce? Dyan's son eats lettuce at 3 years old, I remember.
Well, yeah, I breastfed for 3 years pure. Kasi parang sa akin,
is that a little too long? Did people tell you that that was too long?
Yeah, but it was the easiest. You know, you just bring him with you, you just cover it and feed instead of like...
okay. But how has that carried over? Because I know he's also into sports now.
Yeah, well, kasi I wanted to give my son the same kind of opportunity that my parents gave me to be exposed in sports because I still love being in it. But he had a choice, syempre. So, sinasama ko lang siya palagi sa Sports Unlimited. Kahit sana ka magpunta, jet skiing, beach, rappelling. Sinasama ko lang kasi I wanted him to be, syempre, outgoing because he's a boy.
Also, right.
Yeah, so that's what I did. And then, wow, he became like, he really caught on to it, and now he loves really, being active. He plays tennis and soccer.
An athlete in the making. Pagbalik natin dito sa Kababayan Today, kausap pa rin natin si Dyan Castillejo. Don't go away.